I thought I had this in my computer, but I can't find it, so I'm just gonna do it over there individually here. So our safety meeting today is on abrasive wheels. So when we use abrasive wheels for tasks such as grinding and cutting, we're exposed to various hazards. Here are some examples of the hazards we face. Eye injuries caused by flying particles, right? Or pieces of the wheel if it breaks off. Caught in hazards if any body part touches the running wheel. Respiratory hazards from inhaling dust created during the cutting or grinding process. Or struck by hazards when parts of the workpiece fly off. So, and also there can be damaging noise that can affect your hearing. So there's quite a bit that can happen from an abrasive wheel. So some of the safe work practices to help prevent accidents and injuries of any kind of, when you're working with abrasive wheels and grinders. Obviously follow the manufacturer's recommendations, wear the proper personal protective equipment for the tools that you're using. So eye protection, you may need 2 layers, sometimes either goggles and glasses and or a face shield. Avoid wearing loose clothing around spinning parts. If you have long hair, make sure you tie it back. Leave jewelry at home. Never use a machine without a wheel guard. Before changing wheels or stones, put the power switch in the off position or unplug it. If the grinder is hardwired, follow LOTO procedures to lock it out. Always use the right wheel for the job. Never exceed the maximum operating speed marked on the wheel. So before mounting the grinding wheels, be sure to inspect them and ring test them to check for cracks or damage. Don't use wheels that have been dropped or have chips missing. Allow newly mounted wheels to run full operating speed for a while before using them. Keep your hands and fingers away from the spinning parts. Never remove safety guards or bypass any safety device. Remove defective equipment immediately. Control sparks. Watch for any kind of ignition hazards. Keep your work area tidy and clean up any tripping hazards. So when you use handheld grinders, always hold the grinder with both hands. Don't use cutting wheels to cut curves, and always grind away from other workers. Never use grinders in a hazardous atmosphere, and never hold the workpiece against your leg or use your leg to brace the workpiece.
I don't know for sure. Or right in my pants.
Yeah, so sounds like you learned kind of a lesson, huh? All right, so what part of operating an abrasive wheel exposes you to eye injuries? A, when one of your limbs touches the running wheel. B, when flying particles are created during the process. C, when you ring test a grinding wheel. Or D, when you're exposed to damaging noise from the tool.
B.
B, when flying particles. When is it safe to use your hand to slow down or stop a grinding wheel?
Always never.
Never.
Use your teeth.
Yeah.
True or false? When you work with abrasive wheels and grinders, you should always wear eye protection and sometimes even 2 layers, like goggles and a face shield.
True.
True. Which of the following action could lead to an accident or injury when you use an abrasive wheel or grinder? A, follow the manufacturer's recommendations. B, removing defective equipment immediately. C, using a machine without a wheel guard. Or D, keeping your hands and fingers away from spinning parts. C. True or false, you should never use handheld grinders in a hazardous atmosphere. Pretty easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll give you guys this to go ahead and fill out.
Oh yeah, we gotta sign in.
Sign in. Okay. So I do have payroll today, so please make sure you get all your timesheets in, turned in correctly before you go. It's gonna be a busy day, so you got anything, Kevin, you wanna bring up?
Somebody's got my solder tray.
Ryan.
Inside of my solder tray is my cutters.
I had to cut copper line with a grinder on the weekend.
Gosh.
I was looking in my truck like, what am I gonna do? Yeah.
I think they found your vacuum,
Oh, you
right?
got that
It was
back.
in one of the other trucks.
Yeah, that was,
Trot back?
yeah,
Okay.
I was supposed to get put back on my truck, hasn't been put back yet, but, yeah.
Next time I'll make sure I put my, your stuff in my truck, cause I'm here on Mondays and I'll at least drop it off.
So we've got a few calls today for those of you who don't have calls. Be doing flyers.
Cool.
So we're gonna be hitting a bunch of hydronic systems. And I might actually change tomorrow's class to hydronics, cause I know it's tune-ups, but I don't know, maybe we'll have a special class this week instead, but really gotta understand the tune-ups, so that when you perform them, you know, but more importantly, I'll send out the reminders, you gotta be in class tomorrow.
Okay. Cause hydronics are like super important for heating side of everything, huh? Like they're basically mostly heating.
Well,
They do have AC elements too. I mean, you know, they have the
Well, yeah,
coil,
you-
but the coils aren't that efficient. What I found out, like, I mean,
no, none of it's efficient,
Yeah.
okay? But, the people who have them
Yeah.
are kinda stuck with them.
Yeah.
You can put in a heat pump, but, you know, that's another subject and another class and
Yeah.
everything else. But, point is, they're not going away, and we're not going away.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be doing them. So it's best if you learn them.
That's perfect that our company specializes in them too. So.
Well, it is because we do both. We do plumbing and heating and air. And this is why we're good at it, you know, so anyway.
Not too many other people touch hydraulic stuff.
No, and that's the other, it's a soft spot. It's
Yeah.
just like steam, you know, I got called out on a really nice steam job. The lady just bought the house. She didn't even know her furnaces were in her attic. So, you know, that's gonna be a flip. There's 2 of them there.
2 generators.
You know, she's gonna wind up with at least a tune-up on her furnaces.
Mhm.
If not, you know, I know she has a plumber, but her plumber referred her to me because they don't do steam,
Yeah.
you know? So I gotta figure out who her plumber is and send a thank you and let them know we're not gonna step on the rest of the plumbing, but, you know, you gotta be kind of wary of that.
Yeah.
So, but I was thinking too, that, you know, that's kind of cool, is that this guy referred me, and a lot of my leads used to come from plumbers for HVAC, you know?
Mhm.
And we have the capability in our company of DNSing a segment of business. So in other words, if an HVAC guy refers me plumbing, I can DNS the HVAC side of that customer.
Yeah.
So that I don't step on him, you know, because otherwise what's going to happen? If I take away his customer,
They're not
he's
gonna
never
call you
gonna, he's
again.
never gonna call me again, right?
Yeah.
So we got to be really, really sensitive to that. But anyway, yeah, another subject. So I'll see you guys here tomorrow morning on time,
Okay.
because the class goes by quickly, and we start at 7:30.
Alright,
Awesome.
thank you.